We are at this mountain ridge, which is called Tent Hill, because it has the shape of a tent. And on the slope you see about 113 structures, burials mostly. I have been coming to Mongolia since 2011. It's one of the most beautiful landscapes. To the northeast you see the part of the Ochon Valley, which is more narrow, maybe maximum 2 kilometers wide, and completely differently structures. And when you turn to the southwest, you know, it opens up to this big pasture land. We are standing here on the central burial mound of a so-called Hirgisur monument. When you excavate it, you will find the burial for one person. We don't have a name for those people. We name them after the monuments they built, and we would just call them Hirgisur people out of, lack of any other information. They date to, let's say, between 1200 and 1000 BC, and there are no records. At the bottom of the burial mound, you see that there are several smaller mounds, which we call satellites, and they are arranged in lines. And you find these small mounds almost all around this central burial mound, to the north, to the east, and to the south. Each of these small burial mounds, when we excavate it, we find the skull of one horse. We came for 2 seasons per year usually. Each season, 35 days, 40 days, so I calculated it's about 1.5 years that I have spent living in such a gear. It feels like home. I don't take all my stuff back home, so I have my expedition clothes all the time here. Here we have the repro station in order to take professional photos. I can photograph objects. And here we have the charging station for the drone, the camera batteries, the computer batteries, the printer battery, and so on. It's all for charging the batteries. We have a printer, and I have my computer with my, card reader and everything around, so that I can sort the pictures that we take during the day and just archive them. And then here is my bed. We rent the gears, and the bed comes with it. Here we have the bones that have been cleaned and taken out from satellite number 130. And what I'm going to do now is just search for the petrous bones. The petrous bone is the inner ear bone, and it's one of the hardest bones in the bodies of the mammals. It's the most likely place where ancient DNA is preserved. Sometimes the DNA is well preserved, and sometimes it's very badly preserved, and then the lab has to, squeeze the maximum out of the badly preserved DNA. Sometimes we find 4 hooves under the skull, placed in the front and in the back. Do they place the hooves anatomically? Is the front left hoof that we find in the front left, is that the front left hoof and the front left part of the skull, or not? Or do they just arrange it? Archaeology is basically, and unfortunately, it's destruction. So our real duty is to document as good as we can, to our best of our present-day knowledge, how it looked, what there was, to describe it, to take photos. Sometimes we do 3D models so that we can visualize what we have found. We would like to unravel the mystery why so many horses, that is a tremendously precious herder's animal, has been sacrificed in huge numbers attached to one buried individual.